channel Vaha Woman. This is your friend and host Rajni Vohra, and it's time to meet our today's guest. Guys, my today's guest is agile, learner, practical, confident, creative woman. By passion and profession, both, she's an educationist as well as a storyteller. She has also worked with many schools and colleges as principal. Moreover, she has established an initiative, a project for child development with the name Brain World. So, guys, let's welcome Reshu Agarwal. Hi, Reshu.
Hi,
We welcome you on our show and thank you so much for joining us.
thank you, dear. Thank you so much.
So, Reshu, I would love to understand about kids first of all because you have a lot of passion for kids, education, and storytelling. It is said that 90% of the development of human brain takes place before the age of 6. So, considering this fact, it becomes
Right.
very obvious that this age is very crucial period for any child in terms of cognitive, social, emotional development. As a teacher, as an educationist, what role do you think a teacher has to play additionally to her regular responsibilities?
Yeah, actually, if I can share this thing, I can share my experience much better. If I can tell you the fact what exactly we did. This is the when I will share my experience, you will understand what exactly we did and why it is important as a teacher, why we need to do so. So what exactly what we did, first thing I can share with you, that is as a principal, what I when I was a principal there and I was doing all these things, so many activities and all, being a teacher, I always did one thing very specifically, you can say, very important of my daily routine, that you have to understand each and student mindset. What type of student is having a mindset when that child is coming to school? If he is smiling or something, you can say that it means he is happy. And if you feel that, yes, when you say, see, for an example, if you see the in the foreign schools as well, and now in India we saw in so many schools and already started hi-fi and a handshake for the teachers is important. So my question is why it is important. You just understand the small thing, you will understand the responsibility of teacher. You understand each and every child mindset, what the when the student is coming to school at that point of time, what is in his or her brain. So that is the reason. So at when I was the principal, I was a teacher, I did the same thing in that school. We always focus on students individual personality, individual behavior, that what type of student, as not as a student, as a child, how that child is. That's important. So if you focus and understand each and every student in your classroom, definitely this will make a difference from others, and that will help for a child development, because after that you can understand what next step required to help that child more and more, what ratio we have to work on that. For an example, how much we need to understand his study part, or how much we need to understand his other activities part. Some students are very good in activities and some are
Yes,
very good in academics, but
right.
we need, as a teacher, a balance. We need a balance. So how you make that balance? Only when you understand each and every child personally, that yes, this is the point where the child is lacking, so we have to work on that point. So if you just focus on each and every child specifically personally, definitely you can get a chance to understand more and more, and that is only the thing you can help a child development. That's the main thing.
True, true, true. So, Yeshu, as you have been authoring various story books and you have passion for storytelling also. So, what role do you see of stories in child development and psychology of child?
See, when you're talking about child psychology, it's again depend person to person, like person to person, child to child. For this, so many other thing important, like upbringing, family background, what type of mother and father behavior with the child, what type of responsibilities they are supporting. For me, they are supporting or not, that's the important part. Are they supporting to the child? Are they are some parents are not ready to listen their child, and some parents are very happy when their child is sharing something.
Sharing
So
something.
small things we need to understand the psychology of child. And if you want to, again the same thing, if you want to change your child psychology, or you want not change, I can say, but you want to give them a direction, a positive direction. So you
Right.
need to understand what they want, what they want. You have to, that point, if you understand what they want, you can definitely work on the child psychology. And the same thing I did in my storybooks and all. Right now I am designing some stories in which I always use positive words, passive words, definitely help students to make them more creative or more effective. No negative words in that stories, only positive things, good habit. We can say small thing, good habit. What do you mean by good habit? Only a brushing or a
Right.
washing? No. When you're talking about good habits is also one part, that how that child behave with others. It's
Right.
also a good habit.
Right.
So you
And
have to, yeah,
right. I think it largely depends on the way teacher is telling stories and explaining, and she is paying attention to each and every child, which is, I think, a quality every teacher must possess it. Yeah. So
this is only the thing. See, this is the reason CBSE also says that please use 20 students in one class. That is the
yes,
reason why I personally did that, 20 to 22 students in one class. After only, that is only the thing a teacher can justify with each and every child. And
right.
yes, how the teacher is explaining the story, body language, your expressions, your movements, and the most important thing, your eye contact, you can say, or
Yeah.
your behavior with children, your jolliness with children. And the expression means if there is a sad expression, how you making your face in a sad expression, or if it's a jolly face, how you're making a jolly face. And
Right.
at the end, what is the moral of the story? You have
Yeah.
to make them understand as well. If you don't know the moral of the story, it's no use, no
Yes.
use of the story.
True.
That is what my stories in it. If you see my stories, I'm trying my level best to put all the positive things, moral sense, meanings of life, what it is, and why stories are important. That is all in my stories. You definitely find after something.
Right. Right. So, Reshu, recently you have initiated a child-related project.
I have so many now, right now, honestly. So the one is brain quiz is there, one is brain world quiz contest, one is Eclair, and
Okay.
one is science marathon, science carnival.
Okay. Okay.
So many
Okay.
things are right. Yeah.
Okay, in a nutshell, what aim do you have and what role do you see of all these projects in the development of a child?
Yeah, fine. See, I can explain you in one, two, 3 points quickly. Like if you're talking about science marathon, so what in it we are doing? We are asking parents that uh, take a topic, which one you feel that your child is not good. You feel that, or your child feels, oh, this something is very tough for me, or it scares me. Just pick that topic and make a project of that, a practical experiment. So what
Right.
happens when child definitely start doing it? It creates in you can say more learning. The first part, the child take a more interest. Second thing, so when the toughest part you are making it in a project form, that will be the easiest part for you. So
True.
this is definitely, it will help you in the brain development.
Right.
Definitely it's a part of development now. When a child is doing this thing in a activity manner, or in a creative manner, or in a practical form, or a project form, definitely child learn more and more. And definitely I can say, when I started, there was a child who was very scary related to volcanoes, and the
No.
moment he did his own volcano, he was the happiest child in my classroom at that day. And he was just
Right.
jumping that, oh my god, he did the volcano. And he was a child who was, once upon a time his mother told me that he was not ready to do any volcano, because in his mind the picture of mountain and the fire is coming out. So he was like, oh my god, I will never do the volcano projects and all. And the day he designed the volcano project by his own, he learned more and more. So the same thing, your toughest project will be the easiest if you do in science marathon. Same as it is, I have some other projects as well, that is brain world quiz contest. So what we are doing in that, if you heard about Bonvita quiz contest, once upon a time when we were child and all. So Bonvita quiz contest was there only for TV purpose, and from India only selective schools and
Mm.
selective classes were there. So what I changed now what I am doing, I am trying to do it in every city, one by one, like in Pune, Mumbai, Nashik, Nagpur, not only in Maharashtra, but every part of India. So what we are gonna do, we are trying that now. we are going to one place to another place, and it will select the child who are interested in science activity.
Okay. Wow.
And the same pattern we are going to use to Brain World Quiz Contest. So that will be, so after that works, what will we do? We will get the child all over India, not from only one school. So this is what my purpose is for the Brain World Quiz Contest. So definitely, when you are planning some contest, when you are planning some marathon or carnival or something, all the practical experiments if you do, definitely child development is there. We all know about that. Child development in practical competition, there is a very big role of child development for practical competitions if you're talking about.
So, Reshu, I have a little tricky question now because I think most of the parents, rather, I would say probably all parents, have this confusion about mobile phone, which has taken place of toys nowadays. And in every family, every
Yes.
household, no matter how much we try to avoid it, we definitely cannot avoid it. We can definitely reduce the time the child is spending on mobile, but we definitely cannot eliminate the mobile from his life. So my question is there a tool or is there a way or any strategy that we can deal this issue, without annoying child and without making him frustrated? Because the child says that mom, dad, they are always on mobile and they are not letting me do it. So that is also sending a very wrong message. Kids are very smart nowadays. So they would always question you, why you guys are always on mobile and you don't let me use it. So what remedy you have as an educationist in your mind? Yeah.
See, for me, what I did with, as I'm a mother of 7 years old boy, so what I did with my child, what I believe first, that is discipline, which is very important. Yes, we have to give them mobile because it's a nowadays requirement. Now online classes are going on because of all these things. So definitely we can't say that no, I am not gonna give you the mobile. Yeah, the same question my child also asks. If you have a mobile in your hands, so
Yeah.
why I will not? I totally, yes, I totally understand. So what I did, take my counseling classes, or I used to talk, give them advice, give them. But you have to decide that for which reason you are giving, the first thing, and for how much time you are giving, that you have to make a habit. See, it's all about habit. We have to make habit. As we woke up early or late, it's our habit. Meditation and yoga, it's our habit. Going to school, it's our habit. It's all about habit. The same thing, we have to develop a habit that yes, if we are giving you a mobile, so we have a valid reason, not for games, but yes, we are giving you some educational activity. Now, if you're talking about educational activity, we all understand educational activities are, so many activities are in mobile games there. So there is no need to give them a game mobile for a game purpose, but yes, in uh, an activity which is in a game form, you can do that. This is only the, because I personally never say that no need to give the mobile phone, because there is another problem. If you are not giving them a mobile, not only a issue of that thing ki, mom, dad, you have a phone but we don't have a phone. No, that's another problem, that when the child is in school and other students are discussing about the games and all mobile related things, your child is feeling somewhere suppressed. Oh my god, I don't know anything, because he is not aware about the function of the mobile. So at the same time, this is also very important. So balancing is very important for the situation. So personally, I suggest that if you want to give a mobile to your child, be specific that how much time you are giving and what is the reason why, at what reason you are giving. If there is a class, if there is an activity, if there is a game, educational game, or sometime yeah, fun game is there. But yes, we, in this situation, or you can say in this era of 2020, we can only do all these things with a good habit, with a disciplined manner, and everything should be in a perfect, organized, and a balanced way. Yes, we are giving you a mobile, but you have to understand that this is the time and this is the reason. So definitely every parent will be happy. Okay, fine, now everything is sorted. That you can only do that.
So, Reshit, thank you so much for being with us. Thank you so much for offering us such insightful tips and sharing us such a wonderful knowledge with us. I'm sure this conversation is going to be very helpful for most of the parents to understand how some strategies, some techniques, some ways are more important even in this digital world to for the development of their child. Thank you so much once again, Reshit, for being with us. Yeah. Bye.